And welcome back to part 6 of Neptunia VIIR, where today we're going to hunt down that giant share crystal hidden in this forest so we can try and take on the giants. Whoa, so there's the share crystals here? I can't believe such a beautiful place still exists in this world. You must realize that this place is the way because this is where the share crystals reside. Why's that? The lands of this nation and of this world are almost completely lifeless. I personally believe that the dead land directly correlates to the fact that the amount of CPU's protecting power is greatly diminished. The sole reason game industry exists is due to the protective powers of the CPUs. That's just like my nation too. Planetoon can't do anything without me around. However, according to the ancient text, it is said that the source of the CPU's power is, in actuality, the faith of the people. If this world bears no human population, CPUs can no longer manifest their true power. My theory is that these share crystals scattered across the land are the crystallizations of the faith of all those who used to exist here. I suppose that CPUs and the people create nations by developing a relationship that is mutually supportive. It was the same in the game industry of another dimension we explored before, Ultra Dimension from the third game, Neptunia VIIR. That means no matter what dimension we're in, game industry will usually operate in the same way. Well, that makes my job of explaining it much easier. My recent investigations have found that this is the only nation which still exists. There is literally nothing beyond this mountains and oasis. So it is true after all. No way, so this means we're seriously in the end of the world situation? End of the world is quaint in comparison. Let us return to the previous topic. So although Uzume is a CPU, this nation is still slowly perishing. Any ideas as to why that is? No. Considering Uzume remains dependent on a steady supply of share crystals, I believe this world has not accepted her as its CPU. What? In a world without CPUs, this place may no longer even be game industry. What do you think will happen to this world if the very last nation falls into ruin? It would disappear, wouldn't it? If we ventured to give a name to this shell of a game industry, you could perhaps call it the Zero Dimension. I'm not giving up. Even if this world doesn't accept me, everyone else here looks up to me as a CPU. I'm sticking it out till the end. Back to the topic at hand. The beauty and abundance in this area is due to the share crystal's energy feeding this entire forest. This happens every time. The natural abundance in this area is proof the immense power held within these share crystals. And like, this is a huge forest, right? That means there has to be a hefty amount of share energy at work here. But if we take all the share crystals we find here, won't this forest wither and die? Correct. Areas like this are quite precious. However, so we will try not to remove all the crystals. Whew, that's good. That means we can come back to the field trip and have a look at all the pretty flowers. Neptune, Umio was discussing a fairly grave topic with us, and that's when you decide to contribute to the conversation? Neptune, don't you get it? Everyone needs a little normalcy in crazy times like this. Those everyday pleasures are so important. Whoa, normalcy. You're so right. Once we finish all this, coming here and just staring at the flowers would be so beautiful. We could throw a huge party and invite the baby bugs and everyone else. That does sound really nice. I could even make a whole bunch of pudding like I did today. I want to help out too. I want to try making different flavors. How long has it been since I've seen such a happy expression on Uzume? If it were possible, I'd wish for her to always have such a smile on her face. And after today's throat torture, we begin the Jingu Park, where we're looking for our share crystals. And the first dungeon, moving on, where if we've fought the enemy before, I'll be skipping the fight. Just because otherwise this will go on for a while. These dungeons are going to start getting bigger. It's not going to feel it for the first couple coming up because, you know, I'm skipping fights. But trust me, they are. This would be like a 2-part dungeon if it wasn't for me cutting some of the fights. So this goes, we haven't fought the Guardiuses or the Pipes now. But next time we fight them, I'm going to be skipping. There are also a few times where I don't skip a fight, where it's like, say I have an encounter where I only fight one type of an enemy, and then the next encounter I fight 5 of that enemy. I'll keep that encounter in because you will need a slightly different strategy and need a different idea of what to work with, sort of thing. And I can't get up. You can get your jump upgraded, but for now we're kind of stuck with that. Oh, and there's a cut fight because it was just against more of the plum nets. In the previous Neptunia games, your standard jump was actually half what this is. We actually have a level 2 jump as a starting jump, so certain obstacles that we usually wouldn't be able to climb, we will be able to climb in this. Because when we eventually get back to hyperdimension, which of course we're going to get back to hyperdimension, a lot of the dungeons are returning from those first 2 games. And all the bits where they had platforming sections that you just could not do, you can now do straight away. Status effect, virus. Virus works a bit different, it's a bit unique. When the virus gauge is full and you're completely affected by it, you can no longer access your HDD form. So right now, Uzume can't access her HDD.
You were such a pain.
So that one is something you've really got to be aware of, because a lot of boss fights will have virus attacks somewhere along the line to stop you getting too powerful, to make it so you have to be reduced. Also, if I edit out a fight but they get a level up, I'll keep in the level up so that you can see people are progressing. Do I get heal? No, I get repeat waves. Actually, I think I got heal last part. I can't remember what I recorded last part. I'll have to check. I know I have it in the where I am in the recording now, so I must have got it at some point. These guys are an interesting enemy, but they're also painfully difficult to get the preempt on, because they've got an incredible sight range. Like, you can get behind them where they won't see you, but they do have a really wide sight range, and they also turn on a dime. So sometimes you'll be right behind them and they'll just snap and turn on you and then just come at you like a bolt of lightning. So I screw him over with critical edge, because it was kind of like a shake in the back of my soul when these enemies came on screen, because I was like, oh god, I remember these guys being such a pain.
Total victory.
And we get magic paper from them.
I think I'm a little closer to Neptune now.
Yay, now let's go get this.
Wonder what's inside.
All these flowers are picking up is just more crafting materials and whatnot, so it's all worth picking up. So you always want to try and get them, because we are going to get introduced to crafting at some point soon. Hey Uzume, it's been a while. Oh wait, oh wow, hey Goops. Yeah, has it been a while? How have you been? Is this Dogu an acquaintance of yours, Uzume? Yeah, Goops is one of my allies here. He may not look like it, but old Goops here is the head of the Dogu tribe. Well, I guess you can't judge a Dogu by its cover. Come here, Goops, you little rascal. Oh, there, who's a good Dogu? Goo! This girl really knows how to work those hands. So what's up, Goops? What are you doing out here? We would finally have some help to you, Uzume. We're the ones who found the crystal. Oh, I should have known it was you. Thanks, Goops. You really outdid yourself. These monsters seem to really get attached to you, Uzume. I'm not doing anything special, really. These guys are friendly all on their own. By the way, my other friends are also out searching for more crystals right now. I've completely given up on Goob's voice. We better go look for those too. Oh, I lost that. It's no trouble. We like to be relied on, and truthfully, it wouldn't hurt if you acted more like a CPU and took a little bit more control. When you put it like that, it's just not my thing, Goobs. You know that. I feel you, Uzume. You're a lot like me. You don't have time to be bossing everyone around. You can't sit still. It's kind of true. I'd rather be on the front lines of everyone too. We're going to go search over that way, so if you find anything, just come call us. Understood, Goo. Yeah, I don't have a voice for the Goobs. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Same with the others. If they're a side character or like a basic enemy or something like that, I will very quickly give up on their voice. But as you saw at the end there, we are being followed by Silhouette. But if the Silhouette isn't even remotely subtle, if you've played any previous Neptunia game, you already know exactly who it is, and it's kind of this is the evidence of what I mean. Of me chasing that fucker all around, then it got the attack on me anyway because I missed the final swing. Yeah, because there's a villain, and I think I mentioned it in part 0. If not, I know I've mentioned it at some point during the Let's Play, that there is a reoccurring Team Rocket-like villain throughout this whole series, where they always find a way to bring her back in every game, but in a different sense. In the original game is no longer canon, so having her come back as a deity of sin in the second game was justifiable enough of, well, the first game's not canon, so she could be back. She came back in the third game because it was the Ultra Dimensions version of that character. The original R4, which is her name, so I might as well, since I'm talking about it, the original R4 died at the end of Rebirth 2, whilst in Ultra Dimension you pretty much convert her to change her path and turn over a new leaf. But that was a way of having R4 in the third game as well, and now R4 is in this game because, slight spoilers, but it's kind of, like I say, if you played any previous Neptunia game, it's not a spoiler at all. You already bloody know it. The moment you saw a silhouette, you knew exactly what it is. She's Zero Dimension's version of R4. Every goddamn dimension has to have an R4, and it's something that I appreciate the idea. Like I say, it's the sort of Team Rocket effect of they always show up. The problem is that unlike Team Rocket, the comparison I always draw to, R4's not that interesting. They make more of an effort to be a bit self-aware in this game. Like, you'll see, like, a lot of what R4 says, like, when we eventually encounter her, is a lot more of the writers being like, yeah, okay, we get it, we've managed to have her in every single game. Like, they are a bit more self-aware and they do have a bit more fun with it, but being self-aware and having a bit of fun still doesn't change the fact she's a bit of a boring character and a very lackluster villain. She's the least interesting villain in the series, bar none. Even the minor villains in the second game were more interesting because they had so much character. Like, Underling was hilarious. I can't find nothing. Gearsy, any luck over there? There doesn't seem to be anything here. How about you, Nepsy? No more. I'm tired. I can't take another step. Looks like no luck there either. Uzume, Nepsy seems suckered out. Why don't we rest a little while? Yeah, you're right. We still have quite a long way to go, so we should... Goo! Goo! What's going on, Goobs? Is everything okay? We found a share crystal, Goo! Please come with me to check it out. Really? How big is it? It's bigger than we've ever seen before. Hell yeah! Oh man, I've been waiting so long. We finally gotta defeat that giant. This is great, Uzume, but I'm a little jealous. Jealous of the share crystal? You can use a share crystal to replace your share energy. That's not possible for us. If we had some share energy, we could help you out. Don't worry about it, really. You're already a huge help as it is. I personally would like to witness all three of you goddesses lined up and transformed. What a sight to behold. Oh man, that'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Be something out of like a Sentai Ranger show. Power Rangers. Hey, Nepsy, Gearsy, it's worth a shot. Want to try using my share crystals? We wouldn't have problems if we could use those to transform. It sucks, but it looks like we can't get shares from those crystals. How about eating them? Eating it? No. Share crystals are way hard. There's no way it could be chomped on. What about if we crush them in the powder, and then you could mix it with pudding? Ooh, that sounds delicious already. What? That's what you agree to? That does indeed sound quite impossible. Oh god. Then maybe Umio and the others could try their hardest to make shares. Don't you think it would be cool if we borrowed strength from our friends to go all HDD at once? Like in the cool anime? They totally do, huh? Oh, I could totally want to transform and fight awesomely with you two. If you wish for it, I believe it is possible. Huh? What do you mean by... Also, your speech is slipping. Well, yeah, if it's not possible, screw it. Anyway, right now we gotta focus on getting the share crystal. Those brats are planning something. I'll work on an R4 voice. I'm not sure what I want to give her as a voice, because that wasn't even remotely accurate to what she's supposed to have. I've got a feeling half the cast are going to have very different voices by the end of the game. Oh, you know what the worst part is? Just looking at the party screen. There's a lot of playable characters we're going to have in our team by the end of this that I got to try and think of voices for. Oh no. Like, some of them I have a vague idea like of what I want to do. Like, I have been thinking about this. But a lot of them I'm kind of like, you know, I'll just work it out on the fly. Like, Uzume I kind of just put together in the moment. Like, Netgear I knew I was just going to do my Madeline voice from Celeste. Just slightly higher than that. And Net being the main character, she gets main character priority, which means I just use my own voice. Maybe slightly more effeminate, but it's still my own voice. Same with when we get text cutscenes of that bigger version of Neptune we see in the VR cutscenes. I'll probably be doing the same thing with her voice. Sorry. Can you imagine that? This big death mech just shows up and then just boots you. Right, instead of shooting it, that thing just fucking kicked Netgear and called it a day. The Gradius, because it's obviously not a reference to Gradius. Oh, can I reach that one in the back one? Yes, I can. What are you doing, Rob? There we go. It's like, what are you doing past me? You're just kind of standing around. Ow. Ow.
I've been waiting. Cross combination.
Did I kill it? Well, it must be because he got the challenge for killing enough enemies. Yeah, there we go.
Total victory.
Got some more illegal circuits. No level ups though. But it has been quite soon since the last time someone leveled up. And I believe, after this encounter, we get one of the weapons you can pick up in this dungeon. Oh, I've actually managed to get it that time. It didn't just turn on me and whack me. Yeah, like behind these very evident barrels, there's an item crate, and I believe this is Nep's. It's either a weapon for Nep or a weapon for Uzume. It's a weapon for Uzume, which I immediately equip on her because, as you're gonna see, it's pretty fucking good. And the radius in the top right of that little screen there tells me that it actually reaches out further, even if it doesn't have as much like width in range, which is great for Uzume. I prefer the weapons that go out longer than wider for Uzume. I like the fact that she can be a bit of a ranged attacker. There we go. Unfortunately, there isn't a weapon for Netgear here. So back when we was at the shop, if you wanted to, you could have brought a weapon for Netgear, because it's not this dungeon, it's the next dungeon that will have a weapon for Netgear. So it's like, how long are you really prepared to drag out giving Netgear an upgrade?
My turn.
But you're going to see, with this, with Uzume's new weapon, I can reach both these guys quite easily. Even though our accuracy is still goddamn abysmal. Like, no one else, neither of the Neps have missed once. Uzume has missed, like, that's like the third time now since the Let's Play started that she's missed. I say that, compared to other RPGs on the market, her accuracy, like, everyone's accuracy is really good. But it's still just kind of like, come on. Oh, touchy. Yeah, the touchy's the weapon for Neptune. And it also has a power crystal for it, so it's worth having even if it's not as strong, just because power attacks are, well, damage focused. So now Neptune has access to a power attack. Not that you got to see me use it there. Oh yeah, right. I paused to go through my menu first to make sure I've done it and got everything I want to do, because we've got an important. There, I got a heal. I got it. We got it. It's fine. We've won the game. But now we got a cutscene coming up, which will lead into a very important boss fight.
Hey everyone! I brought Uzume with me.
I hear you guys found this place especially for me. I couldn't thank you enough.
Oh, it's Miss Uzume too.
Miss Uzume is here.
We've been waiting, Miss Uzume. Oh, Miss Uzume thanked us. Ooh, I'm so happy. What the snap? There are so many doggoos, and they're speaking all friendly-like too. Oh gosh, seeing them warm up to Uzume like this is gonna make it a lot harder to fight them back home.
So, my friends, where's this share crystal that you discovered?
It's right over here, Goo. Oh, please take a look.
Oh man, you guys weren't playing around. This is definitely a share crystal.
Its size is remarkable. Uzume, we can finally proceed.
I know, I can feel it. The amount of share energy crystallized in this thing is amazing. Everyone, thank you so much. With this, I'll finally defeat the giant.
But why bother? Please, allow me to put an immediate end to your delusions.
What's going on? No way! Why did it show up now of all times?
Is it targeting Uzume or the share crystal?
Doesn't matter. Little do these idiots know, this actually is gonna work out in my favor. I'll crush the giant, here and now! Nepsi, Gearsy, lend me a hand!
Leave it to us. Yeah!
Hey, you big idiot! This ends today! I've crafted this technique especially to defeat you! Prepare to die!
Well, I can't have you do that now, can I?
What?
It can't be. How can this be possible? Are you friggin' kidding me? Come on! Dang it! Who's out there? We literally just found that thing.
You've earned it, brat.
Who the hell are you?
I suppose this is the first time we've met like this. Very well then. I will tell you. I am called R4. Along with the Dark CPU, I am the one who will bring about the end of you and your world.
R4?
Oh, I see you have heard of my power.
She an acquaintance or what?
Honestly, she's like one of those annoying relatives you don't like too much because she's always criticizing or picking fights with you. Ahem. Let me explain to those in the audience new to the series. We've fought this herald boss lady character called R4 like 1 billion times in the older games and anime releases. She's so boring. I seriously don't even want to look at our Snore right now. She's not about to make us enter a boss fight, is she? Ugh, I'm so over it.
Big sis, maybe you should be less meta in explaining it so the players get a more immersive, believable experience. But in our world, R4 should have perished. And in the other dimension, I thought she had reformed completely. Which means that this R4 must be different from the ones we've seen.
It seems like you brainiacs were hatching a fairly thoughtful scheme with that crystal. It's too bad. Now, Dark CPU, annihilate every last one of these insolent brats!
Hold the flip phone! This kind of map-wide weapon is a rule violation! Where's your sense of sportsmanship?
Prattle on all you'd like. Your end is nearing by the second. No need to hold back, Dark Purple. Thoroughly grind them into dust.
Help me!
Damn it! If only I had the strength to deploy. If I had more power, I could destroy it. But even if I can't win, at the very least, Nepsi and the others. Hey, Nepsi and Gearsy, take Goobs and everyone else and run!
Uzume, what are you talking about?
I'm the only one it's after. I'll be the distraction while you get everyone out of here.
No, I don't wanna. I'm not leaving you behind, Uzume.
This is my fight. This doesn't even concern you. I got you all involved in my fight. My problem. I can't let you die because of that.
Well, we don't want you to die either. And now that we're friends, this does concern us. Consider us involved.
I feel the same way as Neptune. I know we just met, but I could never abandon a friend in need.
Hey, come on. The way you two are talking makes it sound like I won't make it.
You're worried about it though, right? The share crystal's broken. You have no power. You look totally desperate.
What?
Oh, geez. With a face like that, it's even more impossible for us to leave you behind.
But we don't have enough share crystals to even think about flipping this situation around. Our plan failed completely.
Don't sweat it, pal. We don't even need those crystals. We're gonna beat this thing up the old-fashioned way.
Neptune, what do you mean by that? No way. This is share energy? I feel power flowing through me.
What is this? Huh? Could it be?
It's over, Goo. We're so dead.
Don't give up, Goo. Uzume, she's gonna definitely do something big.
That's right! She always managed to come out on top before, and today we have 2 more friends helping her. Ooh.
Is it you guys?
I understand now. The faith of the Dogoos is flowing into us as share energy. Yes, that's it.
What's this?
But aren't the Dogoos monsters? How can this be? It's never happened before.
Let's not sweat the small stuff like logic or plot development. Let's just beat this fool up. Let's go, Little Nep.
Yeah!
Keep your eyes on us, please.
We'll show you the true power of the CPU!
What are these forms of yours?
CPU Purple Heart, I have arrived.
I'm Purple Sister Neptunia. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a CPU candidate.
You twerps were CPUs?
What was that? Was that a memory? But why would I see that now, of all times? Whatever, it doesn't matter right now. If we have the share energy, then there's only one thing to do. Goobs, we'll put your wishes to good use. Transform!
And then, sharing field activate. Sharing field activate!
What? What the hell is going on?
This field. This is incredible. What is this power?
The plan is a huge success. We captured it within the field.
I knew you told us we could contain it, but I didn't expect this space to be created. Is this due to the power of the share energy?
This is a sub-dimension created by Uzume's ability, which uses share energy as a medium.
Uzume's ability?
What is this field? Why can't I gather my strength?
Sit down and shut that old lady mouth of yours up. We're totally gonna beat up this silly giant you're so proud of. Okay, here we go. The first and final, real and true fight.
It's time to fight the giant! I love the giant fights in this game, they're so hype-inducing. But there are some things that the game is warning you about. You cannot do a basic attack against it because the boss is too far away from you when you're in the sharing field. You have to only use your special attacks. Additionally, you want to use a little map in the top right corner for your positioning because you can still circle this thing and you want to do that. You can see it in the top right-ish. The player 2, which is Nepgear right now, is moving to the side here to position and defense up. You don't want all the characters on the same platform ever because all of the giant's attacks will be platform based. If you can space everyone out, you can focus on what you're going to do.
My turn.
But I just the fight against the giant is just amazing. I love these fights. They're the best fights in the game, bar none. They're such a hype-filled, adrenaline-fueled strategy game of taking them on. Yeah, they get, admittedly, because there's going to be more than one fight against this thing. They do get a little bit repetitive as they go on, because you do them so many times, but the idea of what they were going with and restricting your ability to do basic attacks, so you have to use all your specials to take it on, was just such a fun idea from the word go. And it's the grand return of Neptune and Netgear getting access to their CPU forms with Purple Heart and Purple Sister.
My turn.
And I've always loved the design of the two of them in the whole series. And now, because all of them are goddess forms, and so all of them are in the same form, they can use Triburstal together. But this thing does have access to virus attacks, so you gotta be careful. But I'm gonna shut up and let this music play, because it is so fucking good. Nomura Uematsu is a genius.
So tired. Here's a heal.
Let's end this. I'll bet victory on this one blow. You're finished.
Not bad.
All right, I'll go calmly.
It's Uzume's turn. I'll go full power.
The theme is called Encounter of Destiny, and it's one of several tracks composed by Nobuo Uematsu, who, if you don't know who that is, composed every track for the first 10 Final Fantasy games, composed Lost Odyssey, composed the Comrades music for 15, and in general is my all-time favourite video game composer. I've always adored the music that he relentlessly pulls out, regardless of when or where it is needed. This dude is a fucking monster with how consistent he is with his amazing soundtracks. And the tracks he does for this game are no exception. They're so bloody good.
Uzume's turn.
But the fight against Dark Purple, because it's your first encounter with it, isn't actually too bad. For how much they've been building it up for the course of the game so far, this fight isn't too bad, because they're trying to show you just how powerful the CPUs really are. Because they are. If you transform with Purple Heart and Purple Sister, or if you get everyone transformed together especially, nothing can really stand in your way for a good chunk of this game. It's not that you get overpowered, it's just with good, if a good strategy, what can stop you? Kind of thing. Especially because Uzume has an immunity to the virus when she's in her transformed state, which you might have noticed. So she's resistant to it, she can't be affected by a virus, so there's nothing Dark Purple can do to get her out of her form. But Dark Purple's 4 HP bars, in all of its entirety, is almost ended with an MPBL for one last time. So I think that'll kill it. Yeah. And that's it, the giant is killed. Everyone came together, we activated that badass sharing field, and everything's done. We defeated that damn giant. And now we got a new cutscene.
Did we do it?
Yes, we've defeated that monstrosity.
We did it! We did it! We won against that giant! Thank you. Thank you so much, Nepsy and Gearsy.
There's no need to thank us. It's not over yet.
Huh?
R4's still here, right?
Oh, that's right! That old lady appeared so fast, I completely forgot!
To think that the Dark CPU could possibly lose to idiots like you!
Now then, whatever shall we do?
Perhaps we should place the old lady in captivity and interrogate her.
You want to capture me? Ha! What could you possibly do to me in your current state?
Yeah, whatever. We have more people than you.
How aggravating. I will have to withdraw for the time being.
You're running away?
Enjoy what little time you have left until the next time we cross paths.
She got away.
It would appear so, but honestly, we were not ready to take her on.
I'm so worn out. My legs feel like noodles.
Mine too. I'd be pretty happy if I didn't have to fight again for a while.
Ooh, same here. Still, it's kind of a shame.
A shame? You mean that R4 just escaped?
Nope. I just thought that it'd be great to drink some cold juice since we're so worn out, but we don't have any, so yeah. It's a total shame.
Then once we get back to base, we can have a toast together. Although, I think I just need to sit here for a little while. I can barely move.
All right!
Are you okay, Uzume? Why are you screaming?
At last! I finally put that giant 6 feet under! How can I contain that excitement?
Uzume, although I truly understand your sentiments, I would appreciate if you'd refrain from yelling right into my ear.
Oh, he has ears even though he's a fish. I wonder where he's hiding them.
And it's all because you two stayed here by my side, fighting the good fight. I want to thank you formally, so thank you. Man, all I keep doing is giving thanks. Whew, I can't really walk anymore either. Hell, I can't even stand.
You've worked so very hard. By all means, rest. You've earned it.
But now that giant is finally defeated, we've only got R4 or R-Snore to really deal with, and then we can get the Nep Sisters home. But R4 is such a non-existent entity that no one really took her seriously. Like, even in that cutscene, kind of proved what I was on about. Like, where Neptune really went, oh, before like a dozen times, she's so boring. She was speaking pretty much on how all the fans felt at this point. Yet, the reason why I said it's, even though they make fun of it, they still don't, like, solve the issue, is because she's still here anyway. It's like, it's all well and good making a joke that, oh, she always shows up and all that, but she's still gonna show up and be a menace throughout this game. For the 4th fucking game in a row of the main series, which is only 4 games big. As I get Mega Drive here. Because Mega Drive is a very powerful and worthwhile attack to have. But it's still, it's just like, But our focus from this point onwards is getting the Nep Sisters back home, because Uzume's pretty confident that they don't need to worry about R4. I wasn't sure what was going to happen for a moment there, but I'm glad we won. Me too, but I wonder why we was suddenly able to gather shares. Isn't it only possible to require shares from other humans? Allow me to explain. Before that, however, where is Uzume? Uzume went up to the rooftop so she could take a shower first. Ah, then this is the most opportune. I wouldn't want Uzume to overhear what I'm about to disclose. What do you mean? Uzume possesses a certain special ability. Special ability? She is able to turn her daydreams into reality. So, that would mean that she has the ability to intervene with real-world events, yes? But is that possible to do such a thing? She cannot interfere or change large-scale events, but she does possess this power. You two have some experience with disconvenient things occurring exactly the way she had imagined, do you not? Oh, could you mean like the pudding ingredients? Correct. She imagined and wished for you two to create neat pudding. This is why you were able to find ingredients. She also imagined and wished today, during our battle, she wished that you three would be able to obtain shares from monsters and subsequently to transform. That's why we were able to gain shares all of a sudden. That's amazing, it's like a super cheat code. Wait, but why hasn't she used such a convenient ability before? If she did, couldn't she have beat that giant already? There are certain things that come into play, such as the fact that Uzume cannot bring something into existence unless she sincerely imagines it. That is to say, how she manipulates reality is based on her subconscious. This is why I'm extremely grateful to you both. You helped Uzume change the state of shares within this world. I can only hope that if we are not too late, we could be able to stop this world's collapse. I get it, Umio, that's why you said something later on at the time. I'm surprised you noticed. Well, I guess you could say it was by chance, but you were actually engaging in Uzume's story for once. It kind of just got me curious. Next time on Neptunia VIIR, we're going to try and find a way to get the Nep Sisters home. But until then, you guys take care now.